about electric airplanes.
So there are a few things happening in the world today. A convergence of people's understanding of the environment and the impact we have on the environment. We saw that from one of the questions to Brad. The second is a requirement for everything to be on demand. Thanks to companies like Amazon and Uber, we all expect to be able to go places, get things, and ship things at a press of a button and do it cheaply and quickly. In order to do that, you have to be able to have mobility very quickly, cleanly, and efficiently. My daughter, where is she, Neri? My senior daughter is going to start in Wazoo mechanical engineering this fall. Super proud, Dad. Go Cougs. We wanted as a family to go to Pullman on demand. It's a 250-mile flight. Sorry, Brad. $558. That's not okay. $558 for a 250-mile flight. Family of 5, we drove 5 hours to Pullman, 5 hours back. If you want to go to Central Washington University in Ellensburg, 105 miles away, no flights. Moses Lake, 140 miles away, no flights. Lake Chelan, great vacation place, no flights. When you do fly, airplanes in the United States create 12% of the man-made CO2 and greenhouse gases. 12% are thanks to airplanes. That too is not okay. If you live in Ellensburg or Moses Lake or Pullman, and you have a small mom and shop factory, a store, you want to ship your things out, it's too expensive to do it on demand or in general. If you want to get things, I live in Redmond, I get 2-day Amazon Prime delivery. Phenomenal. I love Amazon. Friends that live in Ellensburg, 5 days even on Prime. What we're doing is connecting communities through electric aviation. With electric aviation, we're not going to reduce the efficiency of using fuel or increase the efficiency. We're going to get rid of fuel altogether. No fuel. That means no emissions. Right now, we have motors that are able to take, we signed an agreement 3 weeks ago, announced it with Harbor Air, another Pacific Northwest airline. We're going to electrify their seaplanes. You're going to be able to fly from Vancouver to Nanaimo or Vancouver to Victoria in an all-electric plane. The first flight is going to be November of this year. Now, these planes, when they're converted, are limited. Batteries are heavy. If you ever picked up one of your 12-volt or 28-volt car battery, those things are heavy. They're not even close to being fuel. There's a reason when you light a match next to fuel, it ignites. It's very power intensive. Batteries are not there yet. So when you take a plane like the Sea Airplane or the seaplane out of Harbor Air, you're limited to about 150 miles. So converting an airplane is a great interim step, but not enough. That's why on Monday we partnered with an Israeli company called Eviation, and we're developing and we'll be showcasing and flying the first flight before the end of this year of a 9-passenger all-electric aircraft that will go 650 miles. 650 miles is something to write home about. So please do so. So electric, will we replace Brad's 737s next year? No. Probably not in the next 30 years. But can we release Brad's planes from flying to Pullman at $558 and let them do long range where they are efficient and take a 9-passenger plane to fly to Pullman for maybe $70? That's definitely something we're looking at. So the idea is, how do you go to completely environmentally friendly, low-cost aviation that allows you to connect communities? The good thing about it, as opposed to rail, as opposed to mag lifts, as opposed to the fast tunnels, the infrastructure exists. There's already over 10,000 airports in the United States, hundreds of them here in Washington State. Moses Lake has an airport. Ellensburg has an airport. Pullman has an airport. They all have airports around them, just not being used. So the infrastructure isn't required. It's already there to be used. So from that perspective, we believe that's really where electric aviation can make a difference. The one thing I would love to see this state do is take the lead in the United States. Norway, and I won't use the French term, I'll say, had the intestinal fortitude to pass a law that said by 2040, all domestic flights in Norway will be electric. Passed a law. And now the industry there is working hard to make that happen. And they will make it happen. I would love to see Washington State pass policy that says all domestic flights in Washington state, make it 2050. Make it limited to 200 miles, it doesn't matter. But put something in place that encourages and drives the industry to really take advantage of the technology that exists, the requirement of people to be environmentally friendly, and to get on demand. So that's what magniX is doing. Thank you.